and welcome all of you. Thank you very much for coming. But I want to start by asking who here in the room is already a member of ISAE? Raise your hands. A few, but not so many, and that's what I'm hoping to change by today. So I'm going to ask you, if you could change your professional career by joining one organization, would you like to do that? Does that sound like a good idea? So this is ISAE, and I'm going to talk a bit about where the organization started, where we are at now, and where we are going for the future. And I'm the development officer for the organization, for the charity, so I just work as a volunteer for ISAE, and my role is to help promote the society in developing countries, so beyond North America and the UK, Western Europe, where it's very prevalent and very well known, into other countries in the south of the globe, where we really want to get more activity and more people involved. ISAE is an amazing society. I joined myself in 2012 when I was a master's student, and as a result of that, I then became a member of the committee, and as a result of that, I'm now here representing ISAE today, just as one example of how the society can really help you meet other people and become part of something really exciting in this field. It's a scientific organization on animal behavior and welfare. It's worldwide, as we can see here today with our very first meeting in India, which you are all part of. It is career-changing, as you will soon hear why. It is a supportive environment. As Vijay said, we want to discuss with each other in a very friendly way and be open and help each other. It's an impactful organization as well. So why is it scientific? As a society, it began 52 years ago in Edinburgh. And as already mentioned, the study of applied animal behavior and relating to human and animal interactions is what the society is all about. This is our own journal here. The Applied Animal Behavior Science Journal is the organization's own society. So if you're interested in publishing your research or in reading about other people's research, this journal is a really good place to go to have a look. Everything in there is about this work. The main aim of the society is to be a forum to present and discuss science and education. So primarily, our aim is to bring people together to discuss their work, to share what they're doing, and to learn from other people about their work. And members are made up of lots of different backgrounds. So we have academics, we have government scientists, we have students, we have people from NGOs and charities, the industry and vets. So quite a wide range of people, anybody who's either an academic or is actually doing the studying or is using the research and applying that in their work with animals. And as a scientific organization, one of the most exciting parts of ISAE is our International Congress, which we hold once a year, and typically attracts between around 300 to 500 participants, which is very exciting. And this year it was in Canada. And we have one person here today, Arvind, who will later tell us about his experiences there. And next year, it's going to be in Norway, in Bergen, and it will be on the theme, Animals' Lives Worth Living. As I was chatting yesterday with my colleagues, the standard of science there is very high. It's always very good quality, so it's a really good place to present your work and to hear from the best scientists in the field. If you're interested in attending this congress or presenting your work, the abstract submission is now open, so the deadline is February 2019 to submit. If you would like to attend, I really encourage you for that. As an organization, we really work with animal behavior and welfare. So that is all species, any animal that comes into contact with humans, is affected by them, interacts with them, or is managed by them. So we look at farm animals, we look at wildlife and zoo animals, we look at companion animals who are being kept as pets, and also laboratory animals and those who are being used in research. And some of the different types of topics which ISAE may look at are things like cognition and learning, what's going on in animal minds, and if you're interested more in sort of pure behavior and understanding how animals work, then we very much look at that. We also look at welfare assessment, so understanding how to measure what animals are feeling, the experiences they have, their environment, how suitable that is to meet their needs. We look at positive welfare, because there is an increasing trend to understand that animals need positive experiences and not just the absence of negative ones. And this is very much a popular research topic at the ISAE congresses now. We look at stress responses. So also we look at the negative sides and how we can work with those. We look at social behaviour, so the interactions between different animals in groups or as individuals. We look at management and husbandry. So if you're working practically with animals and you want to look at how you can take the science and use that in your practice, then we do have work with that. And we look at emotional states, so measuring emotions in animals, whether and how we can do that, and the best ways to understand what animals are feeling using science. And ISAE is an impactful organisation. So we have a collaboration between the OIE, the World Organization for Animal Health, where we keep each other informed about our work programs and our meetings, and we invite each other to nominate experts for animal welfare working groups. We cooperate on implementing the OIE animal welfare standards, of which are on many different species and applied in many different countries in the world. So ISAE is involved in collaborating with different organizations to make an impact on animals' lives, as well as actually doing the research. And we are a worldwide organization. We have almost 600 members from 36 countries, with 11 regions. So ISAE is broken down into different regions, and you will all be part of the East Asia region in India. But when I wrote this, we had only 5 members in India. So that's what I really want to change, and to get you all to be a part of that. And you can see the breakdown of membership at the moment on this graph, which shows that we have a large majority of members in the UK and Ireland, in the USA, and in West Europe, where the society began, where it originated, and where we've been fortunate to have a lot of funding for animal behaviour and welfare research, whereas it's now growing in other regions, in Latin America, in East Asia, and looking at how we can really promote it in other countries, because we want it to be international and we want it to be as involved as it can be in other areas. And ISAE is a very supportive organisation, so if you're thinking, why should I be a member, there are lots of opportunities that it gives you and to help you in your career or in your work with your colleagues. This is an example of a grant we are very fortunate to receive from the Open Philanthropy Project, where in 2017 at our main international congress, we funded a group of individuals to attend the congress fully funded, and they were coming from developing countries if they were working on farm animals, as that was the main interest of the funder. And as a result, we had people attending from Chile, from Colombia, from Africa, from all around the world, who perhaps would not otherwise have had the funds available to go to the congress. And they're now using all of that science that they've learned and putting that back into practice in their work. And we are very fortunate that we have this funding again for next year. It's called our Developing Countries Congress Attendance Fellowship. And unfortunately, it's just limited to those working on farm animal behaviour and welfare, because that's the interest of our funder. But for anyone who's interested to go to the Norway Congress and who would be successful in receiving this grant, then their full costs would be covered. The places are limited, so it will only be funding between 12 and 14 people from around the world, so perhaps only 2 or 3 maximum, I'd imagine, from India, so unfortunately not everybody would be able to get this, but it is available as a very exciting scheme, and we hope to be able to continue it in the future. And the decision is based on the country of citizenship and residence, being a developing country, people having no opportunity to attend without this financial support, or to be able to get it from somewhere else, and to have the potential to impact farm animal welfare in your own country. So if you are interested in this, you can have a look at the application on the website here, and the slides will be available afterwards. You can also access this link. And we are a very friendly and welcoming organisation. Anybody who's been to a meeting or a congress before will know that ISAE is very warm and very welcoming. And this is a photo of our regional secretaries. So as well as the main council, we have a secretary from different regions for each of our different areas, and they all came together at one of our congresses there. This is a photo from the Developing Countries Congress Attendance Fund attendees in Denmark. And just the past 3 days to show how international we are and how we're really growing, the last few days we had this event on in Chile. We had a regional meeting for Latin America, which was a very large meeting with some great international speakers and a high attendance number. So I was excited to have these international activities in Chile the last few days, and now here today in India. And ISAE is career changing. So as I've already mentioned around my own experiences, I found ISAE has been very helpful and useful in connecting to different people. And here's just one example as well for Dr. Maria Camila Ceballos from Colombia. And she was from Colombia originally, but then she was doing a PhD in human-animal relations and cattle temperament in Sao Paulo in Brazil. And she joined the society and became quite active in her region. As I mentioned, there's different regions for ISAE, and hers was Latin America, and she was quite active in that area. As a result of being quite active and being involved, she was fortunate enough to receive the funding which I mentioned, the Developing Congress Attendance Fund, to go to Denmark. And she really had a good experience there. She gave a presentation about her PhD, and as she was talking, a professor was watching her talk and thought it was very interesting. They later met and they had a discussion, and that professor offered her a postdoctoral position to go and work in their lab in the University of Pennsylvania in the USA. And she moved there after her PhD, and she works there now on pig welfare and on sow welfare. So just as a result of being a member of ISAE, she's found a totally new job and a new career in a different country to expand her opportunities through this society, which would not have been possible if she hadn't been part of this group. So how can you get involved? The first recommendation I have is to join the society. The cost is £35 per year, which I think is around 3,000 rupees for a whole year. And you receive the newsletter, which is quarterly, all of the updates of what's happening in the society. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and the links are down here for the website and for the Twitter as well. You can do that even if you're not a member. You can follow us on social media. And being a member means that you get a large discount to attend the congresses or the regional meetings, as well as to get the journal subscription. So if you're interested in the journal which I mentioned for applied animal behavior science, you can get a good discount by being a member of ISAE. You can also access our membership database only if you're a member, and then you can find other people who are members. And as we found, ISAE is very warm and welcoming. If you are a member, it's quite easy to then speak to other members, even if you haven't met each other before, perhaps somebody in a different country or somebody with the same research interest as you. You can have a discussion, and ISAE is the link between you. You could access their contact details doing that. And I really encourage you to publish and present your work through ISAE, because that is one of the main opportunities that we present. And so next year we have the Congress in Norway, our main international Congress. And very excitingly, and one of the reasons that we are here today launching ISAE, is that this large international Congress is going to be in India, in Bangalore in 2020. And you're going to hear more about that this afternoon from Dr. Abul Rahman. But we are very excited about this opportunity. And personally, in my role as well, I wanted to make sure that you all knew about this organization and this society, so that in the lead up to that meeting, you're able to think, what could I present at that Congress? How can I get involved in this network? How can I be active in ISAE, so that by the time this Congress happens in 2020, we have a large number of Indian delegates presenting there, showing their research, who are already involved in ISAE, as well as international speakers. But I really want there to be a lot of Indian speakers at the Indian Congress. You can also attend, we've got an ISAE Day on animal welfare and ethics at the Commonwealth Veterinary Association meeting in March in 2019, which is also in Bangalore. So if you're interested, the speaker program is already organized by Dr. Abul Rahman, but if you're interested to attend, then hopefully there will be places available for you. And we may be having an East Asia regional meeting next year as well, so stay tuned to hear that there may be another opportunity for a meeting. As well as publishing your work, so if you would like to publish somewhere that you know your work on animal behavior and welfare can be read by other scientists or practitioners working in this field, then do consider our journal for the applied animal behavior science. And as a member of ISAE, you really do get supported by us. So you could use, for example, our Help with English scheme for any journal. So if you wish to publish in an English-speaking journal, then you can use our free scheme if you are a member of ISAE to have your manuscript proofread and checked for English. And that would be for any journal, so not just for the Applied Animal Behaviour Science journal. You can also get help from senior scientists to establish an animal behaviour and welfare research group. So if you're a member and if you're interested in being active in ISAE, we have many scientists who've got a lot of experience in the field already who would really like to help set up new research groups, especially in India where it's more of an emerging field at the moment. Then you really would be able to get help from ISAE for that. You can also apply for funding to support attendance at the Congress. So as well as our Developing Countries Congress Fund, we have a normal Congress attendance fund which offers partial support for some of the costs to go to a Congress. And even if you're not a member, then you can use ISAE to look for career opportunities on our website. This is one of the main pages which is visited the most. You can look for a job, a PhD opportunity, an internship, a research project, and you can also advertise. So if you do have an opportunity to offer and you would like to look for a good student or an employee, then you can use the ISAE website to advertise your positions and find people in this field who might already have a good experience. And your personal contacts, your East Asia Regional Secretary, so as I mentioned, every region has their own secretary, is Dr. Shigeru Ninomiya, as well as your India Country Liaison, so Vijay, who's introduced us, and I should also say has been paramount in organising this meeting, is your India Country Liaison, so any questions that you have about ISAE and how you can get involved, you can direct to Vijay. As well as the organiser of the 2020 Congress of ISAE is here today, is Dr. Abdul Rahman. So now, if you could change one organisation, if you could join one organisation to change your professional life for good, will you join us? So now, raise your hands if you think you may be interested now in joining the ISAE. That's much better. Thank you. With our membership secretary. So the journal is an extra subscription that you need to pay for. It's not included in the main membership fee. You need to pay additionally. But when you sign up to be a member, you can also select that you want to get the journal, and then that will come to you as well.
And if somebody wants to publish some article in that journal, so will there be some charges, or it is free of?
It's free of charge if you're going to publish, unless I think if you want to do open access, then you'd need to pay an open access fee. A first person to recommend you as well as a second person, but myself and Vijay can be those recommenders for you because they need to already be part of the society. So we're very happy to help anybody here today who would like to join as a member, then we can be your proposers for that. Or for the journal. I think it's quarterly as well. I'm not 100% sure. I know that they have special issues as well, which may be additional to that. Yeah. From a particular person with expertise, for example, who's already established that group, or if you wanted to learn more about the financial side of setting that up, it would very much depend on the individual circumstances. But there are many people, for example, who already have their own established research group who may be able to help you out and offer their experience. I'm glad to hear you're so keen.